New York City already fell to Islam. Vote for me so we can kick every dirty Muslim out of Texas.
People use that kind of bigotry to try to gain political advantage. People move people's emotions.
Let me speak. Let me speak. Let me speak. I couldn't believe that you were as vile and bigoted as it seemed, because you're a vile bigot.
Valentina bukan asli Amerika. Dia juga bukan terlahir sebagai Muslim. Tapi, entah kenapa, dia memilih cara paling murahan untuk mencari pekerjaan, menyudutkan Islam, memerah isu penembakan Minnesota, dan berharap kebencian bisa jadi tiket karir. Ironisnya, kebenciannya justru bocor sebelum karirnya sempat lahir.
Texas, I've officially filed to become your next congresswoman. So the choice is yours. Vote for me so we can kick every dirty Muslim out of Texas. For me, this is just an election. But for you and your daughter, this is your life. Because Texas has only gotten more Muslim under these weak Republicans. New York City already fell to Islam. So did Michigan and Minnesota. And you're next in line. If Texas falls to Islam, it's simply because you didn't vote correctly. God bless you all.
God bless you. Kalimat manis yang kadang dipakai menutupi niat yang jauh dari manis. Sarkasme klasik al-Amerika. Tak ada kebencian setulus kasih orang Kristen. Bukan kasih yang bermasalah, tapi mereka yang memakainya sebagai topeng saat menebar kebencian. Kasih yang pura-pura suci justru bisa jadi paling mematikan. Dan ternyata bukan cuma Muslim yang jengah dengan provokasinya. Bahkan Piers Morgan, si presenter yang biasanya setenang singa baru makan zebra, ikut mendidik. Ia mempermalukan Valentina di depan kamera. Semua bermula ketika topik penembakan Minnesota sengaja didorong Valentina ke isu agama, demi modal politik yang lebih murah dari brosur kampanye di pinggir jalan.
Yeah, Piers, we know this stuff pretty well when it's committed by people domestically. The overwhelming majority of mass shootings that occur in the United States are committed by white people. The person who shot Charlie Kirk, it's white. People who shoot up schools on a regular basis. And we have the common sense to say we deal with these people individually. This is not reflective of the white community in America, and it doesn't mean that we have to take measures against the white community in the United States. We say what mental health factors, what ideological motivations. We deal with it with a level of nuance that makes sense. And we have an administration that simply traffics in bigotry. And so when you have an act of violence committed, in this case, the guy from Afghanistan, he was a recruit for CIA death squads in Afghanistan. That's the operative point. It's the death squads part that makes people more inclined towards violence and makes them a risk, not the fact that he's Afghan. And to then take this particular incident and to generalize it about what threat Afghans might be posing or what threats Somalis might be posing or Muslims or whatever, that is bigotry 101. Basic elementary common sense can tell you that this is not how you deal with situations, and it's just incredibly disappointing and disheartening that we're living in a context in which people use that kind of bigotry to try to gain political advantage. People move people's emotions in a way that helps them take a political advantage. And it's extremely disappointing and the wrong way to go about things, especially if you're trying to build a strong, united country. You don't do it by dividing people like that.
Valentina Gomez, you were laughing as you were listening there. Many people have not been laughing at your video, particularly at phrases like "vote for me so we can kick every dirty Muslim out of Texas." If you had a Muslim candidate in Texas saying "vote for me so we can kick every dirty Christian out of Texas," you would rightly, I imagine, be outraged at that. Why do you think it's acceptable to use a phrase like "so we can kick every dirty Muslim out of Texas"?
Good morning, Piers, and since you didn't have the decency of introducing me correctly, I'll happily do it. Good morning to all of my beautiful people in England. Hello to all of my lads in the UK. Last time I was there, I had an amazing time. I'm Valentina Gomez. I will be the next congresswoman for the state of Texas, and I'm a warrior of the one true King Jesus Christ. And England and Piers, the United States and England was built by white Christian men that follow Jesus Christ, not by a bunch of Mohammeds. So let's get that cleared out right away.
Right, you haven't answered my question. Why do you, if it was the other way around, you would be rightly outraged. Why do you think it's acceptable as somebody running for office in the United States to be so blatantly, why would you be so blatantly hateful towards one group of people?
You call it hateful and bigotry and racist and all of that garbage. I call it the truth. America is a Christian nation. These Muslims come to Christian nations, burn our churches, rape our women, shoot our American soldiers point blank, killing one of them in broad daylight, then chanting Allahu Akbar. Piers, my brother is a National Guardsman. He literally puts himself on the line for this nation. So yes, these dirty Muslims have no place in America and have no place in England.
But as you speak, you see, I'm just seeing a brazen Islamophobe. And people say that phrase doesn't exist. It doesn't. And I'm sure you find it funny, but I think you can make perfectly pertinent points about what's happened here without descending into such vile hatred towards an entire religion. And there are 5 million Muslims in the United States. Why would you want to categorize them in such a grotesque manner?
Oh, and those 5 million Muslims should definitely go back to their 56 Muslim nations. And let's get something very clear right now in your little show, Piers. I don't fear the groomers. I don't fear the pedophiles. I don't fear the corrupt politicians. And I definitely do not fear the dirty Muslims.
Let me bring in...
Can I jump in here real quick?
Yeah, you can, yeah.
No.
I mean, we should be clear about the fact. I mean, sure, Valentina is just a bigot, plain and simple, engages in the worst kinds of bigotry imaginable. But it's worth noting that she's fundamentally un-American, because the American Constitution says that you cannot discriminate against people based on religion. That is pretty clear. And so she's engaging in an anti-American campaign in the name of protecting America, which is just irony beyond imagination. So yes, she's a charlatan. She doesn't know what she's talking about. You can tell by looking at her that her IQ hovers around room temperature. To me, the real scandal is not engaging with her directly because she's beneath taking seriously. But the problem is with the GOP, that you have a major party in this country having a candidate running under its flagship, engaging in this kind of really incredibly hateful, incendiary rhetoric, and they do nothing about it. Or you have just a complete hateful clown like this person representing that party without the party objecting to it.
Yeah, you know what?
Leading us towards a very, very dark place in this country.
I actually completely...
All right.
Well, Valentina, you're going to find out what the Texan people think of you in the 31st district at the ballot box, which is how it should be in a democratic society. And look, here's my pledge to you. Here's my pledge to you. If it turns out the people of Texas, a state that I love and have spent a lot of time in, if it turns out they're all as bigoted as you are, then you'll win. And if you win, I'll get you back on Uncensored. But here's the deal. If you lose, you're never coming back. Fair deal?
Yes, let's make one thing very clear. Your team are the ones that begged me to be on the show, not the other way around. I have hundreds of millions of views. I am actually the only...
We literally sent you one email and you said yes. We sent you... Just to be clear, just to be clear, I don't know what... Just to be clear, stop talking. Just to be clear, we sent you one email and you immediately said yes. That's not a beg. That's not a beg. That's a request for you to come on this program, because I couldn't believe that you were going to be... I could not, honestly,
I wanted to come speak
I couldn't
with you.
believe...
I wanted to hear the British accent.
Let me
I wanted
speak.
to say hello
Let me
to the
speak.
British lads.
Let me speak. I couldn't believe that you were as vile and bigoted as it seemed. But it turns out you were. So here's my pledge to you. Like I said, if you win... And the people of Texas, like your vile, bigoted rhetoric,
you're just a puppet for
come
the
back on.
Otherwise,
we're never going to see you again. So good luck in your election. Trust me. Trust me when I say this. The people of Texas. Trust me when I say this. The people of the 31st district of Texas are not going to vote for you because you're a vile bigot.
Vile bigot. Sebuah label yang biasanya cuma berseliweran di jagat maya, tapi hari ini ia tampil utuh, lengkap dengan ambisi politik yang tega menunggangi kebencian. Dan persis seperti firman Allah, telah nyata kebencian dari mulut mereka, dan apa yang disembunyikan oleh hati mereka adalah lebih besar lagi. Ironi abad ini, mereka yang paling lantang mengklaim ajaran kasih, justru paling rajin menebar luka. Mereka yang mengangkat slogan berkat, malah sibuk menyalakan api agar gaduh semakin panas. Kebenaran tak perlu menjerit, cukup satu momen jujur untuk merobek topeng siapapun yang hidup dari moral palsu dan politik kebencian. Dan seperti biasa, cahaya tak pernah terburu-buru, ia datang perlahan, tapi selalu menang.